Hello, I'm Dr. Andrei Psarev, Professor of Russian Church History in Canon Law, Holy Trinity Orthodox Seminary, Jordanville, New York. This podcast is part of the series We All Live in Byzantium. And Byzantium, of course, was properly known as Eastern Roman Empire. And therefore, what we are talking today is connected with the imperial mindset, since I see the Russian trespassing into Ukraine is part of this imperial mindset. I'm afraid this mindset is outdated and not productive. So this is as much as I can say based on what I am seeing, based on that limited information that I have. I'm not a historian of wars or a politologist to speak about this at depth. But I would like to speak something that comes close to my area of expertise, which is church history. So this week I learned about brutal interrogation of a person whom I have known since the Soviet time, and this is Metropolitan Mileti of Chernovtsi. I remember him when he was a higher deacon in Pachayev, and I understand that he is a man of God, and also based on his statements, he is loyal to Ukraine. So during those interrogations, they found, people from special units who conducted interrogations, they found a letter to Rocker hierarchs, because Metropolitan Mileti is the chief of the Department of External Relations of the Ukrainian Church, where he was asking not to interfere in their activities ministering to Ukrainian flag in Europe. So I am not seeing how this is productive. I see this as intimidation. And the next day after those interrogations, there was a speech by President Volodymyr Zelensky, who emphasized necessity of following European standards for the freedom of conscience. But I am afraid it's impossible to observe, based on the track record, where churches are taken by force. I know one particular family, father-in-law of a priest near Kiev, who left his church long ago before the conflict. So this basically makes me to say that the current situation in Ukraine regarding the Ukrainian Orthodox Church might be similar to the situation with the Orthodox at the end of the 16th century, when Greek Catholic Union of Brest took place in 1596, and Orthodox became an oppressed minority. So there are worrying similarities to what I'm seeing. But again, I hope that Ukraine will be able to walk the talk and to show that rights are protected and rights of confession are sacrosanct, because also talking about imperial mindset, that's exactly to add more points to explain Russian intrusion into Ukraine. if oppression of Orthodox Church in Ukraine, which is independent, has no relationship with the Church of Russia, insulated from the Church of Russia. There could be people, of course, sympathetic. There are still people who commemorate Patriarch Kirill because they believe it's what's canonically required. So, with permission of Metropolitan Onufriy, I understand. But at the same time, everything should be based case on case. If there are people who are disloyal to Ukraine, there are people who involved anti-Ukrainian work, this is one thing, and it has been proven. But just to intimidate people who have nothing to do with anything particular, it doesn't send a good message, and that's why I decided to record this podcast, because of Metropolitan Onufriy, Metropolitan Mileti, for whom I have a lot of respect and fond memory from the time back then. Thank you for your attention.